this amazing trade that we have got almost 13%. As you all know, that I do tend to hold trades a bit longer, hence why I don't trade every day, because I don't have the time for that. I mean, my life is quite busy for that. But anyway, I would like to share with you guys this trade. I've shared the trade before and after, and I share the profit that was made. It was almost $3,000 on my account. As you guys know, I'm trying to move away from funded accounts. I'm focusing more on my account now. If you're looking at this trade closely, simple, again, as you know, guys know, I trade a very, very simple way. I have no longer involved myself in any terms when I speak. Just look at the screen, because honestly, I do not have time for that anymore. That did not make me money. It just only confused me, and I used to enter trades later because I wanted everything to be perfect. So I removed a lot of things and we focus on that. If you haven't seen that, then you look into my other videos. All right, so basically from here, right, this, if you're looking at the date there, it's on the 27th of Jan. So I was seeing this, for me, that's an order block void, and I've been seeing that as a rejection, if you can call it. Now, for me, when I see a rejection on an old low, automatically I know that we might bounce back to that and we might push to the upside. That's how I look into it. So when we're looking into that, that's what we're seeing. So I'm just going to take this tool now, because I've already have these annotations, because it's something that I was looking at anyways for this trade. So we've been looking at this nice push to the upside. We've pushed all the way, right? And if you can see here, we have a nice fair value gap, which is not what we're talking about right now, but if that's what you want to call it. But for me, it's like we have this nice, beautiful demand area over here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, we have 5 candles that are showing that we have nice pressure for the people that have bidded over there, and the asking price was just over down here, which is perfect. This not simply means, this means that if we had a push to the downside, okay, what we only did there, to be honest, we just corrected the gap over there, okay? Do I trade gaps? No, I don't, but I understand the concept behind them. So that's all I see there. If when I'm coming back, pushing to the downside, and I'm seeing that 1, 2, 3, we have this buying pressure. So what I did is I will take my tool and I'll put it right over there on the second candle. And then from there, I'm just looking for the price to bounce to that area, because what we're looking for there is just the candle that did the damage there, which is just the second candle. Now, when they push over there, we want to see them coming back to the upside, because now it shows that they have corrected price over there. So they have corrected price, came back to the upside. Okay, that means that the asking price that was here was accepted. That's all I care about. Okay, I'm talking about big firms now, so I'm just following their footsteps. Okay, so we went to the upside very nicely. So my aim to all of this, in the month of January, I was just waiting for them to come over here. That's all. Okay, so when they did just that, did not enter here, to be honest, did not get an opportunity on the 4th right there, because if you can see all the way, I have been sloshed, right? Slosh. I haven't been trading in January, not that much. So I was like, okay, this trade might be the one. We might get somewhere with this one. So we had to push to the upside. Okay, again, buying pressure. Okay, now this has been cleared out. That's amazing. Okay, so now what we want to see is for them to come in here. All right, what you guys call it, beautiful people, the order block. Great, amazing. So I wanted them to come there to see if they can get another asking price for them to come to the downside. Okay, which is just now, someone else will say, the support area. So I wanted to see if they will support that, even if it's a little move to the downside. I just wanted to see a reaction from that, and they did give me that. So for me, I said, okay, it looks like we're still going to push to the upside based on that, because of if they reach a support area or an order block and they just give me that rejection candle, that means that they don't want to push to the downside, but they still want to continue to the upside. So we just move that. Okay, so this candle really confirmed that. Okay, so we pushed to the upside, not a problem. That's great. Now for me, it's not for me to just jump in blindly because I'm seeing them now rejecting another block. What I'm going to do is to still wait because now I'm working with time. Okay, so I have to wait now for my time, and my time was not met yet. So this was a 5 o'clock candle, have no business with that. So I waited all the way. Look at how long have I been waiting? Since the beginning of February. No trades taken. Boom. I said, oh yes, even better. They came back to the rejection area. That is the candle they've used to signify that. Now they came back there. So now the only thing for me to do is to enter, right? So I did just that. Waited. Friday, don't trade Friday. So boom, 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 boom. Monday, they even pushed price aggressively with that candle. For me, that's on its own a demand candle. Now, what am I waiting for? Now, I am waiting for the time, and the time is the London session, okay, which is the London Open. All right, so I waited over there for the 9 o'clock candle, and when they reached the 9 o'clock candle, I said, perfect, that's great. So we're just going to change the color of that because we have to be clean because we're not okay in the head. Who cares if the chart is dirty or not? Are you making money or not? So now, there we are. They met that, okay? Now, what else are we looking for? Did they take this high? Absolutely, they did, all right? So they did take the high as well. So that means that all demands have been met. This one has been met. That one has been met. This one has been met. We pushed to the upside. It's 9 o'clock. And they're now pushing. Look at the times, 10th February. They still pushing to this candle because they've used it, came back down, then pushed to the upside. So the entry, just going to zoom in now for you. So the entry was when they pushed to this upside. I said definitely if they slotted this move, that means that these people are really not wanting to push to the downside at all. If you are looking again, let's take the tool. I'm just going to use this one now. Again, I'm using the same principle. Which candle has been rejected? Okay. Right there. So they then used this candle for me. And I said, if they, again, using that candle, I hope you can see this because I only use gray colors and I hope you can see this. So they used that anyway. So that's perfect. So I'm just going to take this out. So they used this. When they used this, so this was the candle that we've used to enter. And then, of course, stop loss. Now, if you notice something here, the stop loss is 66 pips. My stop loss is usually 34. But I have just recently moved it 30 pips extra because of I tend to hold trades now for 2 weeks and more. So I want to give room for that fluctuation, room for price to do what it wants to do. If there's ever someone who wants to bid it a bit lower than I expected, therefore the price can do what it needs to do. So I no longer really use 34 pips. I used to use 34 pips, but I don't because of this. There's a lot of traveling happening, so I don't have the time to be like scratching my ass over what price is doing. So I need to let it breathe. So we had that over here. So if you cannot see what's happening, I'm just going to move this for you. And this is the candle that help us to enter, right? Because they took in the high. That's correct. Someone will say this is liquidity. That's great. They took in that, came back to the downside. Okay, the downside, they came to take this liquidity that was in this candle, which is the 9 o'clock candle. So for me, that's enough confluence to go in. And then I went in just like that. Then waited for that 9 o'clock candle. We in, boom, boom, boom. This thing was just going. Beautiful price, beautiful delivery. Now, when we were here, I was saying to myself, okay, that's 2%. And if you have a decent account size, 2% is very good. So I then said, okay, let me at least take something off to reward the trader, to reward the to reward the analyzer, the analyst. Okay, so it's very important to actually reward the trader so that the trader can be able to trade tomorrow. Because if you just going to depend on what price is going to do, you're so confident, then you never take anything off, you know, the for yourself, to reward yourself, then I mean you always be disappointed. You always go in with fear because you take nothing off. So we took something like a 1% off somewhere under this tray, under this candle. We took something there. So I was like, okay, 1%. And if you know German 30, if you have over $10,000 account, that's over 2 grand already. All right. Even if you have 10,000 Rand account, that's over 1 point something, sometimes 2 grand, depending on the broker, really. So I was like, okay, so we're there. And I was like, okay, they might take me out to 1%. I don't care. Because at this point, I was just looking for that trade that could help me boost my confidence, because I said to you that even if you are confident and a seasoned trader, but you can always doubt yourself, especially if you were having, you've been slow, beaten up by the market left, right, and center for almost 2 weeks. So I needed that push, that green, so I wanted 1% or something. But luckily, the market did what it has to do. I mean, the buyers wanted to push even further, and they went in. And my profit is always at 5%, to be honest. If you think I'm lying to you, I'll just show you now. So I set my things like this, then boom, show you now. Look at my templates, 61 pip stop, 5% all the time, okay? No lies. I set all my things like that. So now we pushed, and I was like, okay, now we're going to have to come and decide if you want to now decide if you want to continue with this, or you just want to enjoy your vacation, enjoy your time, and really just let the market be. So that was the really nice 5% on the account, on the personal, and it really boosted the confidence, because I was like, what is happening? Okay, the brokers are not taking me out on the stop loss. I'm losing almost 4 grand. What is happening? So basically the count now is back on 10, because now it was sitting, I mean, come on, something less than almost 9. Then when it was back on 10, so in total it was on 13 grand. I took my 3 grand, put it in my account, which is a bank account, all right? And we were happy days, amazing. So this thing went and continued, did this thing. I did not trade now since that trade. That was beautiful. Someone would have gotten here as well, because there's a rejection. Looking to the left, there's almost nothing, but that does not mean that there's no price. If you know that, you would know what's happening here. So that push as well is great. There's also another one there to continue to the upside, but we didn't take it. Now I'm seeing German now coming down nicely to the downside, which is amazing, but we're not trading as yet. We will be looking more to the weekly time frame next week to see if we will have another 5% opportunity. So, right, that's it. Okay, that's it. That was the trade for February so far. As you can see, that I don't stress myself like a lot of people would with regarding the trades, and I have to trade every day. I have to make 15%. Remember, we're not trading for the same thing. Before you come from me, like 5%? This month you only made 5%? Ask yourself your account size, okay? Ask yourself if she's only depending on trading. Is she? Ask yourself if she's content, and what is she trading for? What is that particular specific account for, before you come for me, because we're not the same, trust me. So that's it. That's a trade. And I hope you guys really had a very beautiful love month. Love is in the air, you know. The street was painted red, whatever that means. And you have a great weekend. Peace and love to you guys. See you again in the channel. And cheers.